Welcome back to Gaia's Mysterious Corner. How have you been?
Not too bad. It's been a busy week, but you know how that goes. Research and work.
Very true. I'm Gaia.
I'm Mellow Man.
And today, Mellow Man has a special treat for us.
Well, I have a little legend that comes from the little small town that I was born and raised in. Apparently, not many people are aware of it, so.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know how some people are on their legends and their folklore and their myth. Because I know every small town has their own little legends and myths and stuff like that, so. We'll see how this goes. We'll see who understands it, who knows what it is, or even where it is.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to say exactly where it's at.
Oh, I will say where it's at, but, not everybody's going to understand or know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because I went through that struggle because I came from that town of is it this one or is it this one? No, it's this one. And they're like, I didn't even know there was one there.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, what is the title of your story?
Okay. The title of mine is Tall Betsy. The Legend of Tall Betsy.
Legend of Tall Betsy. Okay.
Yeah, Tall Betsy is, in lack of a better word, she was a goblin or a witch.
Ooh, okay.
I have a whole little thing set out here to play and let you know just a little bit about Tall Betsy.
All right.
Just a little bit. It might take us a little time to get through it, but we'll get through it. So, with the Legend of Tall Betsy, there is a poem warning story.
Okay.
And it goes like this. She comes out only on Halloween. On Century Avenue she can be seen. Tall Betsy is the lady in black. For scaring night owls, she has a knack. Now if you're good and go home early, you won't get ate by this gruesome girlie. But if you linger till after 10, we want you to know you're a has-been. 'Cause Betsy will tuck you under her arm, and you can bet that is cause for alarm. To Foothill Cemetery she will go, to her mausoleum with you in tow. If you don't escape before sunrise, I warn you now, you will be her prize. She will have you for breakfast. I do not jest. You'll be on the menu, but not as her guest. Your bones she'll dump in the old well at Arnold School, and no one will tell. Your parents, they'll worry and fret. They'll search all over for you, I bet. So go home early on Halloween night, and November 1st, you'll be alright. Trick-or-treating is so much fun, but if you see Tall Betsy, run.
Oh, so this is kind of a Halloween thing.
In the little small town that I'm from, it wasn't a thing, it was a major ordeal.
Oh.
I'll let you know a little bit more about it here in just a minute, but they made Tall Betsy the official goblin, and it's state legislature. It's the official goblin of this town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when I say it's a whole ordeal, it's like going to Salem and seeing witches. You know how Halloween, it's a big deal in Salem because of the whole witch thing?
Yes.
Okay, well, Halloween in my small town was Tall Betsy. That's all everybody knew, Tall Betsy. And it became a big blown out ordeal, and it drew in a lot of people. and that's where we're fixing to go into a little bit more on the origins of Tall Betsy. Because she really was a person. It's not just a myth. She was a real person.
Okay.
And Tall Betsy became that warning for parents to tell their kids, hey, don't stay out late. If you stay out late, then Tall Betsy's going to get you. So we need you home by 10 o'clock. Not every kid out there listened to it. But that was how they tried to scare the kids into coming in early on Halloween. But Alan Jones, a Cleveland, Tennessee entrepreneur and philanthropist, best known as the founder of National Payday Lender Check into Cash, capitalized on the Tall Betsy character in 1980.
Oh, wow.
So that's when he capitalized on it. That's not when she first appeared. She was around for a long time.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, man, I was a kid then.
I was maybe a glimmer in my daddy's eye at that time.
You said in 1980?
1980.
I was about a year old. That's telling you my age.
Yeah, just a little bit, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Jones based the character on stories or local folklore that were told to his mother, Virginia Slaughter Jones, by her mother, Marie Schultz Slaughter. Virginia and other Cleveland children being raised during the 1930s were told by their parents that if they failed to come home before dark, they would likely encounter Tall Betsy, or simply the Lady in Black. Now that's 1930.
Oh, wow.
They were telling stories of Tall Betsy.
Wow, that's a long time.
That's 50 years.
Oh, wow.
50 years they were telling stories of Tall Betsy. And I'm going to go, I'm going to revert back to something real quick. It said in Cleveland. Now, this is where I don't know if people are going to understand. When I say Cleveland, first thing that pops in people's mind, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep.
Wrong.
My next guess would have been Cleveland, North Carolina.
Nope.
Let's see, where's another one?
Cleveland, Georgia.
Cleveland, Georgia.
And that's not it either.
Cleveland, Tennessee.
And that would be the Cleveland I'm referring to. Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's a small town. And it's a town. That's all I can say about it, because just about everybody knows everybody in that little old town. You go to something that's a major event, and there's not one person you won't run into that you didn't already know. That's how town-like it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when I say it's a southern town, it's a southern town. When people are riding down the road, they throw their head back, nod and acknowledge that they see you. They throw their hand up at you and wave at you, say, hey, what's up? And you don't even know who they are. But
True.
that's how the South is. We don't care who you are. We're going to say, hey, how's it going? Cool, I got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we're acknowledging that you're there, that you're a person, that you exist. And then we're on our way because we got stuff we got to do.
Yeah. That is true.
But back to it, Tall Betsy last appeared in 1998 after drawing a Halloween crowd of 25,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Although no explanation was ever given for the goblin's disappearance, Jones later told a reporter that while the goblin may have vanished, her spirit is embedded in the hearts and minds of the Cleveland residents who saw Tall Betsy during the 18 years from 1980 to 1998.
Wow.
So just poof, disappeared. Gone.
So did she die?
I don't think anybody knows for sure what happened. At this point, it's just going to be speculation on whether or why she disappeared. Now, I know I have come across a couple of things during my research where, like, Alan Jones dressed up as her one year. So, I don't know if it had something to do with that, where, she had been gone and they started doing this to, like they said, capitalize on the myth of Tall Betsy.
Right.
But, like I said, it's kind of speculation at this point.
Okay.
And I don't want to speculate too much. But now this next part that I'm fixing to tell you, I was actually there.
Oh, okay.
And pardon my French, but it was a hell of a time. I'm telling you. I was 18 at this point.
Okay.
The 2005 block party was dedicated in honor of Tall Betsy's 25th anniversary. The block party drew the largest crowd in the event's history. Jones arranged for the nationally recognized celebrities such as the cast of Tiny Betsy Lurks On, and this was why it was such a big draw. And I know this was why it was such a big draw. Little Richard. Yes.
Really?
Yes. To entertain the more than 30,000 attendees. In 2014, Jones' son, Bailey, assumed the identity of Tall Betsy and has appeared as the Goblin each year since at the Halloween block party. But yeah, I actually got to see Little Richard perform. He was late. He was almost an hour late, but he was there. And it was a blast. Oh my God, I can remember there was so many people there that you couldn't turn around without bumping into somebody.
Oh, wow.
And for those of y'all who aren't aware, the block party takes place downtown around the courthouse. And it's a small, 2-block area, maybe, that this event takes place. So if you're talking 30,000 people, and that's not counting the fact that because it is not just downtown, it's historic downtown. So you've got all of these houses that are just extravagant and old plantation style and just beautiful homes. They actually have to participate in the block party. They have to set up haunted houses and stuff if they're right in the vicinity of the block party, just to help boost all the people coming to the block party. And they have a lot of vendors there. One of their major vendors that it really, really just makes the block party is M&M Mars.
What is M&M Mars?
M&M's.
Oh, so they make the candy.
Yes, they make the M&M's and the Twix and Twizzlers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But their M&M plant, the one that makes all of their M&M's, their chocolate, the peanut butter, the almond, and all of those M&M's.
And the caramel ones?
Yeah, all of that, plus the mini Twix.
Oh.
They don't do the full-size ones there, but they do the mini Twix. And that plant is in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So at the block party, they bring tons of candy. And the parents and the kids and anybody that goes through their tent walks away with a little sack of candy. And when I say a little sack of candy, I'm talking like a Walmart or a grocery bag full of candy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one of their major things. That's what makes the block party, because you get to go get stuff from M&M Mars. And then you've got Tall Betsy that's supposed to snatch kids after 10, but everybody knows that's, nowadays it's no longer a threat, it's just a folklore legend, but...
Okay.
Alright, so, in the poem part that I told you where Tall Betsy tucks you under her arm into her mausoleum, she'll go...
Yes.
Okay. You ever wondered who's buried in that mausoleum?
Who is buried there? What's her actual name?
Okay. I don't think, out of everything that I have researched, that I actually had found Tall Betsy's real name. Okay. But I can give you the rundown of who the mausoleum belongs to, and who is buried in the mausoleum, and who owns the cemetery, and all of the kids that are the family members of that family that are buried not in the mausoleum but in their family cemetery.
Okay.
But where it says, like I just said, to Fort Hill Cemetery, she will go to her mausoleum with you in tow. Okay, according to the legend of Tall Betsy, she sleeps in the mausoleum at Foothill Cemetery. The mausoleum in the legend was based upon a real one built for the Shields family many years ago. The first of this particular Shields family to arrive in Bradley County was William Shields and his family. They came over from Polk County. Now, to break it down for you, from the center of where the block party is, the courthouse, to Polk County is roughly 20 minutes. So, it's really not that big of a distance. It's a 20-minute drive. But back then, I'm sure it was a lot longer because they had horse and buggies and stuff like that. But, it was sometime after 1850. So yeah, definitely horses and buggies and no paved roads. It was all dirt, and you really had to hoof it to get here, or to get to Bradley County, which is Cleveland, so people can understand that. Bradley County, Cleveland City. It's the same area, it's just the city and the county version of it. But William Shields was the son of Banner Shields and Margaret Ware. He was born February 17th, 1803.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that was in Tennessee. And died March 11th, 1891.
That's a long time.
Yeah, he lived a good while.
Good long life there.
And when he died in Bradley County. And William was buried in the Shields Harris family cemetery. So the cemetery belongs to his family.
Okay.
He married Elizabeth Lee in McMinn County on February 27th, 1840. She was born August 1st, 1817 in Tennessee, and died September 28th, 1905 in Cleveland.
Oh, wow. She died way before he did.
After.
Oh, after.
He died in 1891. She died in 1905.
Okay. Yeah.
She outlived him.
Yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth was the daughter of Abner and Mary Lee. Elizabeth was also buried in the Shields Harris family cemetery.
Okay.
William and Elizabeth Shield had 8 children that can be verified.
Oh, wow.
So there possibly was more, but only 8 that can be verified. And when I say verified, I'm talking, like 23andMe reports and census reports.
Okay, so not saying that she could have had a kid, maybe like a miscarriage or anything like that.
Right.
Okay.
Or she could have had one that didn't get documented because it being back then,
Home birth and...
Right.
Okay.
So, just that can be verified, they had 8 children. John Caswell, Martha E., William Banner, Eliza Jane, Joseph W., Marshall Napoleon, Susan E., and William B. There were 2 children named William in the 1870 census listed as children of William and Elizabeth. No further record of the second William after that.
So did he pass away?
See, that's what I'm saying. Once you get when you start digging way back then, documents go missing. You don't know, and they're
fire, anything could have happened.
Right. So you just have to assume that something happened. He might have died as an infant, born, died.
Or now, maybe I'm mistaken, but didn't back in those days, especially if you had what we would consider special needs now, back then they were kind of swept under the rug.
Yeah, they were ashamed of it. They hid it.
So, okay.
It could have been something like that. But as far as research is concerned, there's no other record of the William B.
Wow, okay.
Or, I'm sorry, the second William. Yeah, there's no other mention of him.
Okay.
So, John Caswell Shields, the eldest son, was born November 27th, 1840. So that was 10 years before the dad died. It says probably in Polk County. And again, that's like 20 minutes up the road. Well, probably an hour for them or more.
Back then.
Yeah, back then. Excuse me. And died November 12th, 1908. So he outlived the mama by 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years.
So he died young.
He married Emily Evelyn Howell on November 15th, 1860 in Murray County, Georgia. Now, that's a good ways away. Now, we are talking, you're getting up into a little bit more of the modern times, so you're getting more reasonable travel, I guess you could say.
Right.
But Murray County, Georgia, that's a good distance. She was born in December 1840 in Haywood County, North Carolina.
Oh.
And died in 1924 in Dade County, Florida.
And that's a good ways away from... Well, let's see. She was born in Hayward. Is that what you said?
Haywood,
North Carolina. That would be right there close to the Georgia-Tennessee line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
So they made it across a couple states.
And then she died in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Dade County, so she was right there nearby Abby. Emily was the daughter of Evan Shelby Howell and Camilla Irma McLeod.
Okay.
John and Emily had 5 children: John Caswell Jr., Charles Milton, Emma Flora, William C., and Joseph Edward. Now, I want you to pay attention to some of those names, especially the Emma Flora. Okay? And just pay attention to the way things go throughout this, because there's some shady stuff in this. Some shady stuff.
Emma Flora?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
According to the Find a Grave website, John Caswell Shields owned a grocery store in Cleveland on Ocoee Street across from the courthouse. See, that look that's on your face is the same look that went on my face when I seen that. I was like, huh?
Now,
There's not a grocery store that's across from the courthouse.
Now, I've been where you were from. That's why when you were like in the poem, the Arnold School, I know exactly where that's at. I know where Central was at. And I was like, wait, huh? But the grocery store from the courthouse, and I'm trying to figure it out in every which direction, trying to figure out where it would be.
The only one that I could assume, but again, you're going to find out this was a long, long time ago, so it was probably built, demolished, and built on top of, and there ain't no remnants of it, you know.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know that area was, they usually use most of their buildings, restored them somehow.
For the most part, yes, but you're not going to find one from like the 1800s still there. I've noticed that. You got the early 1900s.
Okay.
And like 1904, 1903, 1905, stuff like that. You might find one from 1885, but Cleveland had a rough history. Cleveland's had a rough history.
Okay.
But, like I said, it was on Ocoee Street across from the courthouse. He married in Georgia in 1861. So that gives you a rough idea about when that grocery store was built and ran.
Wow. Yeah.
Even though he was living in Bradley County in 1860, therefore, he and his family probably were in Bradley County after 1861. In the 1870 census, John and his family were living in Smith County, Texas, and his occupation was listed as a physician. He could only have had a grocery store in Cleveland for a short time between 1861 and 1870. How did he become a physician?
Now that kind of reminds me of other stories where even women somehow became physicians that don't even have a license and don't even know how to practice.
Okay, I could see that, but you're going to find out later why I say that.
Okay.
The one previously known occupant of the Shields Mausoleum at Foothill was Flora E. So, remember what I told you to pay attention to?
Yeah.
Okay. Her name was Emma Flora.
Okay.
Okay. The one that's in the mausoleum is Flora E. See, there it is again. There's that look. That look that hit my face when I found this out. I'm like, wait, huh? Emma Flora, Flora E.
She used her name Flora.
So, but you'll see why I say it's fishy.
Okay.
The Find a Grave website lists three members of the Shields family at Foothill. John Caswell Shields Sr., Emily A. Shields, and Flora E. Shields. On each of their separate web pages, there is a photo of the Shields Mausoleum. I surmise that Flora E. Shields was the same person as the Emma F. Shields. Now, that's listed in the census records.
So, Flora E is actually Emma
F.
Flora. So, the Emma E, could that be that she went for, or the Flora E could have been Flora Emma? Just reversed her name.
I understand that, but why would you change your name around? Why would you go from Emma Flora to Flora Emma? What happened that made you change your name around? See what I'm saying?
Right.
What was the circumstances behind it? That's what gets my curiosity going right there. That's what automatically makes me go, this is fishy. It's fishy from the get-go.
Same initials, just flipped.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
But they have her listed, Flora E, as a child of, oh gosh, what was this? Oh, of the, as the daughter of John and Emily.
Wow.
In the 1870 census of Smith County, Texas, the daughter of John and Emily is listed as Emma, age 4, born in Georgia. The next census in 1880 is interesting. It shows John living with his oldest son in Eugene, Oregon. It also shows Emily and the rest of their children living with her mother or her mother's family in Murray County, Georgia. The next available census in 1900 shows the family back together living in Umatilla County, Oregon.
So I wonder if maybe the dad went out looking for, stable income, a place to house his family, trying to make a better life for them. So temporarily they all had to live with her mom, the mother's mother.
I think that might have been what happened. I'm not 100% sure, but back then it wouldn't be uncommon for the man to strike out to look for work. But if you go from owning a grocery store to being a physician, why would you? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that makes me think too that the census, even back then, couldn't always be correct.
True.
Especially if you have more than one. Like nowadays, I've seen where if you go on Siri or Google and look up, let's say John Smith, you might come up with 60 different John Smiths.
Oh, you're going to come up with way more than that. But
I know,
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
So how'd you know that's truly the right one?
But that's where I said it also comes back to the 23andMe stuff too.
Okay.
There is
So kind of like the ancestry.
Yeah, you'll find out and hear just a little bit about what they did to find all this as far as the ancestry goes and where they traced it from. They don't go into too much detail, but it gives you a rough idea of what they did to help come up with this answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. According to the Confederate pension application, pound D18300, filed by Emily in 1910 in Dade County, Florida, John died in Bradley County. So it seems that John, Emily, and Flora moved back to Bradley County sometime after 1900.
So just the three of them. So the rest of his children could be off living their own lives. Or passed away or whatever.
Emily is listed with her daughter, Emma F., and an unnamed granddaughter as living in Miami, Florida in the 1910. So it is possible that Emily moved to Florida with her daughter to be close to other family. William and his wife died and were buried in Florida.
Okay, and you said unknown granddaughter.
Yes.
And that would have been Flora's?
It would be Emily's granddaughter.
Well, no, I meant like Flora's daughter, which Flora was Emily's daughter. Okay.
Something along them lines. I don't know if it was Flora's or Emma's or if it was somebody else's
like his
granddaughter.
like one of her sons or something.
Right.
One of their children. Okay.
Right.
I got you.
Okay. In the 1920 census, Emily is still living in Miami, but her daughter is now listed as Flora. Also living with them was Emily's granddaughter, Esther, and her husband, a Mr. DuPont. His first name was unreadable in the census, which is not uncommon for that time either, because, that is...
Yeah.
So
because they couldn't really write the greatest.
Right, and you really couldn't make out his name, so that's why we went with Mr. DuPont.
I know it's, if I'm not mistaken, because I know my grandpa was telling me that even when he was born, like you got, especially for young gentlemen, they'd get up to a certain age, they had to quit school, so they weren't all that bright as far as, arithmetics and different things, but they were still intelligent.
Right.
But they worked on the farm or had to find a job to help support the family, things like that.
Right.
So I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, it was just, you couldn't read it. There's several people that said they couldn't read it, and it is what it is with old documents.
Right.
Sometimes it's
and
just that way.
They tarnished and turned yellow and things. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Emily died in 1924 in Dade County, Florida. In the 1930 census, her daughter is again listed as Emma F. See, that's why it's so fishy. In one census, it's Flora E, in another, it's Emma F, and then in another, it's Flora E. Why switch the name around so much? So that's why I said it was fishy, because it's not just, it went from this to this and it stayed that way. No, it went from this, back to this, back to this, back to this. What are you doing?
Right. Why are we changing our name? What are you doing?
Thank you. That's what I
was the family covering for her for doing something?
Exactly.
Sinistrous or something.
Right, because they move around a lot. I mean, we went from Florida to Texas to Georgia, back to Bradley County, and then Oregon. Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place, and that just doesn't seem normal.
That's a lot of moving.
Yeah, especially back then.
And there wasn't really much, if any, military back then. As much. Like there would be now.
I think right around that time you'd be looking at like the Civil War in the 1800s.
Right.
So.
But I mean, it's not like it would be now, so...
No, it wasn't a booming town like it is now. Back then it was probably one of them little towns you run across. Like, was that even a town? What?
Right, kind of like a little ghost town. It's so tiny. I got you. But even with the military back then, you didn't really move your family. It was just you, right?
Yeah, if you was in the military, it was just you that moved. It wasn't your family. Your family stayed home to take care of the home.
The homestead, yeah. So, but the whole family moved a lot. And then her name changed. Something's going on. Yeah,
it seems real fishy to me, but I don't know. She was then living with a niece, Lena B. Donovan, who was born in Oregon. In Oregon, in the 1940 census, the daughter is now listed as Flora E. See, she's done changed it again. She went from Emma F. to Flora E., living by herself in Homestead, Florida. The census also indicated that Flora had attended 1 year of college and was living in Homestead in 1935 as well. So, like I said, the main question that sticks in my head through this whole thing is why the name change? I know things were different back then, but I don't think you changed your name a lot unless you were doing stuff you wasn't supposed to be doing.
That's what I was going to say. Or you have, like, multiple personality disorder, which you didn't know a lot about back then.
Or like now, tax dodging.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, yeah.
Trying to dodge taxes back then, trying to save some money, hard times, depression, and all that. I kind of understand that, but there again, I don't see a lot of that in a lot of people unless they're trying to cover something up. So I just wish I could have figured out what they were trying to cover up with that. But you know how it is trying to dig into the past.
And sometimes you can
figure it out.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't figure that out. It doesn't give you enough detail.
The next information on Flora came from a family tree on Ancestry.com. Her name was listed as Emma Flora. And the tree stated that she died September 27th, 1951 in Dade County, Florida. According to the Find a Grave website, John Caswell Shields was interred in the Shields Mausoleum in 1908. His wife, Emily, in 1924. And their daughter, Flora E., in 1951. So Emma Flora and Flora E. are one and the same.
It's just her name's backwards.
She switched her name around so much.
Maybe she just liked going by Flora and not Emma.
I don't know. But in the census, wouldn't the parents fill that out for the most part?
Nowadays, yes. But back then, it could be a person coming around and going, okay, what's your information? You know, especially if there was one that was well educated, I would think.
I would think they would have to be well educated to write and read
and do
all that. But I'm not.
Did you think you'd be well educated if you could run a grocery store and be a physician too? A physician. Sorry.
Yeah, physician. It's one of them words that it's just a word. It's hard to say
and
sometimes.
Y'all will learn that here sometimes it's hard for us to read or to even say certain words. It's just how it is for us.
But after that, there's no other record of the interments in the mausoleum. So that means there's only 3 people in that mausoleum.
And is it the 3 that you were saying earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. The dad, the mom, and the daughter.
Yes, that's the only 3 that are in that mausoleum.
Wow.
The other children died in other parts of the country. John Jr., a physician.
That was the physician. He gotcha.
Died in Oregon. Charles, a farmer, died in Florida. William, a watch repairman, died in Oregon. And Joseph, a dentist, died in California.
Oh, so we had 2 doctorates in the family.
Yes. I believe the Shields Mausoleum was built by John Caswell Shields, and John, Emily, and Flora seemed to be the only occupants, since John only lived in Bradley County sometime between 1861 and 1870 as a storekeeper, and then again about 1901 until 1908, after his career as a doctor. He had a mausoleum constructed sometime between 1900 and 1908.
Oh, wow.
So
he was a doctor as well.
Right, that he was the one that owned the grocery store and went and was a physician.
Well, I'm wondering, like, the grocery store, if something happened, like it was a family thing that was given to him, or a friend of the family, he helped run this grocery store, so he became part owner in it, maybe.
I don't know. That, like I said, digging into the past, it's hard to find full details that you want. And unfortunately, it's a deep dive, but it's not a deep dive. I mean, last one we did was 18 minutes. This one's been almost 45. So I'd say it was a pretty good dive into Tall Betsy.
It is. And that's a pretty good legend from where you're from.
Yeah, it's a little hole in the wall town, but it's got its legends and its myths, and some of them are worth talking about. Some of them are just bunk.
Right. Well, guys, we're going to let y'all know that we're going to start doing mini episodes as well. We'll try to do those and post them during the week, and then our normal episodes every Saturday. We haven't really decided what day yet to do the mini episodes on.
And an FYI, sorry it's so late tonight, guys, but it is what it is. It's the weekend, and we was trying to get it on early, but we had some stuff we had to get taken care of, personal things on the personal life, but we tried to get it up as quick as possible. It is, it's a little hard, one person doing the research, and then the other one doing research on something else, so... And believe it or not, this does not pay us. We do this just to be doing this, and we try to have fun with it, and we try to have fun with you guys. And go to YouTube. We're going to start posting not only the podcast on here, but we're going to put them on YouTube. It's
Gaia's Mysterious Corner
on YouTube, guys. So go check it out. We're, like I said, possibly the next full-length episode we'll do a YouTube video along with this, so you guys are kind of in on the process and get to feel a little closer to us and be able to talk to us and add to the podcast, which we would love, we would enjoy.
Yeah, because that should be a live reaction.
It'll be a live video.
Yeah.
The YouTube will be live. It's always going to be live. We might try to repost the recorded version, but I think YouTube does that anyway. You just got to go to the page, go to lives, and it'll have all the lives in there, so you can check those out. Got anything else to say?
Just look forward to the mini episodes, and like I said, the regular full episodes will be every Saturday. Not sure the exact time, but just know that it'll be on Saturday, and we look forward to getting with you again. Until then, y'all have a good evening.
Be safe, y'all.